Hello, and welcome to VYTALCast number 62, featuring the King of Lame.
What's up, you beautiful degenerates? I'm back.
He is, and we're like a whole minute early still, so chat will catch up eventually. Showing. Apparently your Windows is also catching up with us.
It's letting me know, hey.
Yeah.
God, seriously, shut up.
Hey, Gage in the chat. Oh, I should probably get the link to share with you. Let's see if my tweet went out. So
I'm about to flip on this light, so I apologize in advance for like the flickering on my screen. I am still working on some issues on my end. Flip.
Yeah. So you're gonna be flickering. Oh boy, thank goodness I paused that stream.
It's so annoying already.
So
I don't even want to see it.
I just want to quickly. Oh gosh, this is gonna screw up the. I don't want to screw up the capture for OBS. But anyway, how about that chapter 4?
Dude. Oh man. So I'm reeling from the fact that with everything that's gone on, I'm very pleased with how things have turned out. And
seriously, it was very heavy. I felt like
super heavy.
Like, boy, I hope you're going to the gym because we're gonna be lifting today, and it's
so
just
no, sorry. I'm trying to get to the chat and everything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could send you the link after I
got it.
I'm doing a very lazy announcement on Discord. Sorry if you're on my Discord and you're already watching. You're gonna get like a hey.
Nope, gonna quiet that.
Yeah. Shush. And hey, Maria and Hunt SD. And
Hunt, what's up, man?
He's like that flickering. Oh man, I'm like,
dude, I know.
You just barely turned your light back on. Did you?
It bothers me so much.
Yeah, it's okay.
But I was doing that for just in case it went super dark.
Oh,
since I have
flip auto turn off.
There we go.
There you
go.
That's
better.
Good.
All right.
The Chosen One's in the chat saying he's back. Welcome back, Chosen One.
He is back.
The prophecy foretold this. Okay. So where do you want to begin with chapter 4?
So I haven't even really talked to anybody about the earlier chapters yet.
Okay.
So my biggest thing, so we'll go ahead and start with 4 because it's a good place to start.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I feel super sorry for like Crow, Oscar, and Ozpin. And I know right now that for a lot of people that seems to be an unpopular opinion to be sorry for Ozpin. It's just like he's withholding the truth, like he's not being upfront about all this stuff.
Yeah.
But when you are leading or trying to combat a force that you have fought for nigh a millennia,
it's
like you imagine looking at your troops and telling them, "Hey, here is a battle that I'm sending you to fight. I'm training you and everything, and I'm going to send you to fight this, but we have no way of defeating her.
We have no plan.
None at all. Just
I think it's like, now that I'm thinking about it, because he is in a leadership position. It's also like the big gripe a lot of people had with The Last Jedi, with the purple hair lady, like just not telling Poe the plan.
So that's different. That's different. With Holdo, she purposefully did not tell somebody, didn't tell her crew or anything. She didn't even lead them on to make them think she had really much of a plan. She didn't say anything. She was just like... But the way it's handled is where the execution is where it differs. So with Holdo, we had nothing to base our trust in her off of. While Ozpin, we've been placing our trust in this guy because we're like, hey, he's been around for a long time. He's got to know something. There's got to be like some plan. The relics are the plan. They have to be the plan. But unfortunately, we come to find out that Salem, and spoilers for those who for some reason have not yet seen this, sucks to be you, fam. Salem's unkillable.
Yeah.
Through every means except for the power
Breaking
of a
the
teacher's
curse.
lesson.
Yeah. It's
so I don't blame him. I completely understand Osmond's like his fear, his like distrust, and his unwillingness to really give that information out, because that is demoralizing. Fighting a battle that's never going to end.
Yeah. Or at least, like, he thinks there's no end. Because, I don't know, I'm being optimistic on it, and maybe I'm being a little bit, like, too much like Ruby in this sense. But, like, there is the possibility of bringing an end to it, but it's just a matter of how do we do this? Because now, Salem looks a whole lot more sympathetic through, like, the curse and all that. And, like, okay, we know we can break the curse, but it's just a matter of how do we get someone that's this twisted to, like, listen to us and then understand a lesson that the gods have tried so hard to teach her, you know?
Yeah. Like, it's understandable where she's coming from. Like, Salem's motivation is understandable, especially when you take into account this is a girl who was raised by herself, more or less, inside of a tower, and did not know the outside world. Then here comes Ozma, and, like, storms the castle, and swoops in like Flynn Rider, and then he's just like, hey, let's go do stuff. So they go and they spend, like, the next however long, because they can't show age, you know, being together. And from how I interpreted it, is they were always together, doing everything together.
Yeah.
So she went from not knowing anything about life to knowing things about life with only Ozma, and doing everything with Ozma. So Ozma, having a life with Ozma is all she knew.
Yeah.
That and loneliness. So when he's gone, her entire world is gone. Like, not just in, like, the philosophical sense, but, like, to her it's in a completely literal sense, because she doesn't know how to go on without him.
Yeah, he was the only teacher, the only person who, like, showed her the world, and it...
I can show you the world.
Just minus the magic carpet.
Shimmering, splendid.
Yeah, so, like, some people were saying, like, Inspector Who in the chat is saying, like, if the world knew Salem existed and was unkillable, they would probably defect to her side, which, you know, it's
I
like...
I see that being a potential.
Yeah,
especially with, like...
if you can't beat them, join them, kind of sense.
Yeah, a lot of people have that sort of mentality. And especially when it comes to fear. Like, they're like, this person's unkillable.
And
now, a lot of them would probably end up just taking that as flavor text and being like, oh, unkillable. They just haven't tried hard enough.
Yeah.
They're like,
which,
hey.
I've been seeing a lot of people kind of like say, oh, no, Salem's killable, but only through the power of the Silver Eyes. That's never been explicitly said.
It hasn't really been hinted at either. I'm not going to say it's not a possibility.
Yeah.
The
closest I could see to it is undoing the work of the Black Pool, which, because that's the Grimm side of her, and it's a weapon against Grimm. That's the closest I could think of.
Yeah, I could see that being a potential use of it.
Yeah.
Because it would give more meaning to having Silver Eyes and why why Salem's forces would really be more inclined to take them out. Because if they were just, you know, really good hunters and, like, able to lay waste to scores of Grimm with just a glance, then you know, that while that's a big force multiplier in terms of, like, against them, and taking them out would be a strategically sound thing to do. If it was something that could directly affect Salem, their lady and mistress, whatever, their goddess, like that would make sense because they'd have more of a reason to take her out. Like if it was me and I had somebody trying to go against me like that, yeah, I would probably slaughter them and their entire family and like
they're just get rid of the whole lineage.
Just wiped out.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Yeah, it really does. And hold on, I'm turning off my heater for a bit because it is starting to feel a little toasty. Kind of like how
Mortal Kombat style.
Ozpin is in the hot seat right now. But they said, let's see, I see Maria saying in the chat saying, why instead of defeating, they try it the other way around? While her immortality can't be taken out, still possesses that one condition that the light of God gave her. Yeah, which is kind of what you mentioned with the lesson only a teacher can teach, is trying to get her to appreciate life for what it really is, which would also
like the balance.
Yeah, and like experiencing, like kind of accepting that life is precious because it's limited, and that death is the thing that you just kind of have to accept, which is kind of ironic because she can't experience death. So, but it's also. Oh, I was saying, like, that's going to be really weird to, like, try to get her to listen to the good guys about, especially since they're on Ozpin's side, so to say. She's like, why should I listen to you? I just want to destroy and have the world's biggest tantrum ever seen,
See, so I'm reading a couple things in the chat.
Okay.
And Gears and Arms talks about there are two stipulations to Salem's curse. The god said so long as the world turns, she would walk its face. Also, that's the wrong "it's," my friend. But just say. Also, she had to understand life and death.
Well, I think that was just kind of saying, as long as the world turns, I think that was just saying, like, she can never die. Period. AC Gears and Arms is taken as a one or the other type of way.
Okay.
So it sounds like,
I can see that.
If she destroys the Earth and it stops turning, so to say, then her immortality can stop.
The end of Remnant. I could see it. Because my buddy Kenneth and I were talking about it the other day, and he mentioned that he thought that her goal, like many of us have thought, was to gather the relics, to have the gods come back, and since man is fractured, that they would end up wiping Remnant clean.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, and Remnant no longer exists, Salem should no longer exist. Maybe. And like I could understand that.
Yeah, I can understand the logic.
So I'm just curious.
It's like the world's biggest suicide attempt, but also like there's always the off chance that they just wipe out humanity and she's just on the planet by herself.
Again.
Yeah, and it's like
which that makes me curious of like the first time it happened. So the first time I watched it, or at least during the first few minutes that I was watching it, and the God of Darkness wiped everyone from the planet except for Salem, not Sinner, because she doesn't exist till many later. So there's no humans, nothing, just Salem. So did she literally walk the face of the planet while man evolved from like nothing to like humanity?
I think that's the big question, but someone pointed out something in one of my YouTube comments like a few days ago, that in the very first episode of Ruby, it said man was born from dust. And that's like around that time when the human race came back, that's when dust showed up. So it could very well be that the god of light brought humanity back through dust, and that's why people have semblances, is because dust has powers in itself. But also that's kind of like them being fractured. They don't have the power of magic, but they do have like some semblance of it. But it's I don't know if like they evolved the way we think of like human evolution in our world. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense. So the reason I brought it up is the other idea is when she talks about man was born from dust. I think it's more of like I wouldn't say a play on words, but I'm right now my mind is failing to like think the other word. I don't think she means it literally from dust. I think she means it from humanity,
like metaphorically.
There it is. Yeah. There's the word.
Came from nothing, pretty much.
Exactly. With man having literally turned to dust, and then humanity came back. Because if it was evolution, then why? Then with how everything is, would they really come back the same? Which that could explain if it was an evolutionary process where faunus came from.
Yeah. Somewhat.
Let's see. We have a question or at least a statement directed toward you.
Oh yeah, Hannah Ray just barely posted that. It was I realized Ospen/Oscar is more like Doc/O'Malley from Red vs. Blue, which King of Lame would greatly enjoy too.
I do love me some Red vs. Blue.
Me too.
I really do.
Where is my Red vs. Blue merch? Okay. Apparently it's not.
I mean,
I got.
You have the Needler.
Yeah, I got the Needler. Like, I got Halo merch. Like, I got a Spartan. Master Chief fell. I got the Needler. I got Red vs. Blue on Blu-ray down here. My poster is right there. Yeah, I just wish I had...
Does that make this the current human... Make the current humans and fauna the subspecies of the original humans? That would be an interesting idea.
Yeah, I think that was kind of like the gist of it, because humanity would be not complete, and therefore I think the faunus and the semblances are just kind of like the part of the magic side that humans had before, I guess. But also, like, was it Adam that said it in the trailer that, like, the reason why they wear the mask is to remember where the faunus came from? Kind of hinting that...
No, it was... for that, it was more along the lines of... I'm having trouble, like, remembering the exact quote, but it wasn't about remembering where they came from in a sense. When they donned the mask, it was sort of... Since... I am really tempted just to pull this friggin' video up.
Yeah,
someone save my useless brain.
Because I was under the impression that the masks were supposed to resemble Grimm, to kind of like say, yeah, we were some sort of mix between Grimm and humans originally? Question mark.
I don't think that was it.
Someone put that idea in my head, because I know someone suggested it to me, and because I'm not clever enough to think of that on my own.
Normally, I have watched the chapters a few times by the time that I come onto this thing.
Oh.
Or at least last time. But I mean, last time, it was volume 4, I think?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And, like, up to that point, I'd already seen volumes 1 through 3, like, times.
A cajillion times, yeah.
Yeah.
I should probably let chat know, I just barely saw the episode last night. So, like...
okay.
Yeah.
It's still fresh.
It's fresh in my head, but I also haven't had a whole lot of time to process it and think of, like, my theories and all that. And someone was mentioning, like, how Salem used her power. Okay, so Inspector Who said, so he noticed something when Salem used her power on Hazel. There was her symbol on Cinder's Grimm hand. So I think that's the power of portals? Wait, okay, Cinder's glove hand, not Grimm. Oh, okay. Oh, like how... you know how, like, Cinder's glove had that symbol on it when she was attacking Amber? He said he noticed that...
emblem.
Yeah, that was Salem's emblem. And, like, she might have the power of portals. I think it's more the power of the Black Pool and, like, summoning Grimm. And, like, that's where the Grimm are essentially born from.
Well, that's too far down. Well, in terms of Salem, like, she has legitimate magic.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she still has legitimate magic. It was probably been corrupted and tainted and changed over the time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's no real telling what she's able to do at this point. Especially having probably a few dozen centuries to work on
making herself
her
powerful.
skills. Yeah. I mean, I would probably end up experimenting with magic too, trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah.
'Cause
Oh, okay. Sorry. I read Steven's comment, and he was saying it wasn't explicitly said, but I think you're right about the Grimm masks. He said, I think the masks were because humanity thought the Faunus were a mix of Grimm and humans. So that's why.
I could see how humanity would be dumb enough to do that.
Yeah, and Salem sure does think with portals. Gosh dang it. Oh yeah, so I should probably explain why I had issues with recording this week. So when I record my reaction videos, guys, I make sure the house is empty because I just don't feel comfortable with people in the house. For some reason, streaming is different, but when I'm recording, I guess I like to be more loud and talking to myself.
It's also a one-time thing.
Yeah, especially with reaction videos are definitely a one-time thing. Like, and I've had people bust into my room mid-recording before. Specifically my sister, like, and like it's weird. Like I tell everyone, like, hey, I'm recording, like, please don't bother me, and then like they busted in my room telling me to shut up. So I didn't want to risk that with a reaction video. And then I thought I would have had time on Sunday. Saturday I blew off to basically go see a girl I like. Sunday I was I'm so then
the worst.
I thought Sunday I would have time, and then Sunday just did not work out, and then it was just like, when will I get the time to watch it? And finally last night I got to see it. So here I am, non-spoiled somehow. So because Volume 5 sucked for me. If I did not see it like the day of, I would get spoiled somehow. And
yeah,
because Cal in her thumbnail put like Weiss being stabbed, and I was like, what the heck? They killed him. and like imagine that was like still on Saturday too. So like the episode came out that day, man. And then there's a thumbnail in my sub box with Weiss just impaled, and like, did they kill Weiss? And I was like, no, they couldn't have. And it wasn't until like, and I wasn't even home. I was in Vegas, and I had to come back, and it was like that Monday. I was watching it, and I'm like, Weiss dies in this episode. Like, it was really just me disappointed knowing what happens at the end. And I'm just like,
just ruined. Let's see. Inspector says that you need an on-air light for your door.
Yeah, well, my house is also very thin, where you could also my microphone can catch sounds from other rooms. And oftentimes my mom will play music or is talking, or my sister who's in the room next to me plays music or is watching Netflix. So it's like I don't want this video to get caught by something that's not Rooster Teeth. And I honestly just don't feel comfortable with people in the house when I record. So it's like, because they were telling me
suck on your doorknob.
Wow.
Hannah, so far you have the best comment.
That reminds me of something that happened at RTX. So,
hang on one sec. Yeah. So Steven poses a quick question.
Okay.
How untouchable are the members of Team Ruby? Like, would any of them personally die before the final season? I mean, it depends on how they want to go with it.
Yeah.
I mean, being the more or less the actual reason for the show, like these 4 girls in the name.
Yeah. I think it'd be kind of poetic if Ruby died, in the sense of her mother didn't want her to become a hunter because, you know, it usually ends up in death or a life of pain. And somehow,
if we can base it off of Red Like Ruby too.
Yeah, and so it's like, it'd be a little poetic if like Ruby in the very end like dies to save the world and is kind of remembered as this great hero. And so therefore, like, Ruby gets her big wish, but also, like, you know, that was the whole reason why her mom didn't want her to become a huntress, was she'd die.
I'm really curious to see how we're going to end up coming to terms with more about Ty, Raven, and Summer. Because, like, I'm waiting for Ty to get more stuff. Here's looking at you, RT. Give my boy some stuff.
That's not in Chibi.
That's not in Chibi. Goddamn.
Yeah.
So, but my when it comes to the question that Steven proposes, I think it's possible. I do think it's possible. Because I mean, while the show is titled Ruby and it's supposed to be based off the 4 girls, there's nothing that says you cannot have a show that goes on without one of those characters.
Oof.
I imagine Ruby wouldn't be the one that dies, at least not until like the very end of the show.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see something happening, and then, one of them end up actually dying. It's entirely possible, I feel, especially with them having a slight more realistic. I use that term a bit loosely.
Yeah, because
more realistic take on it.
Because in the original intro, it said you wanted a life like a fairy tale, but that's not what you're gonna get. Was kind of part of the line. And I think it's funny that Maria was like, nobody's going to die. Probably Crow will get kidnapped. If anything, I think Crow is going to die at some point.
That's entirely possible. I mean, having a functioning liver is really important. So...
And after this episode, who knows how long that will be.
Yeah, bruh, like...
Immediately, he broke out the alcohol.
But I mean, like, that's Crow. He's been doing that for a long time. Yes, like, in the opening... Like, it's obvious that he seems more distraught and more bothered by something that's going on. Like, even his like, tumble back
into the grim arms.
Into the grim arms of the angels. Like, the look on his face as he's falling just kind of makes me think of apathy. Like, he couldn't care one way or the other anymore.
Dude.
And especially after this last chapter. Because... that's heavy. Like,
I am feared. Because, like you said, like, Crow and Oscar and Ozpin were the 3 that you felt for most. I was more of, like, Oscar and Crow minus the Ozpin. And the reason why not Ozpin was kind of, he had that line in, like, what was it, Volume 1, where he said he's made more mistakes than anyone else.
I've made more mistakes than a man, woman, and child.
Yeah. And then he also has been saying, like, I do what I do because of mistakes I've made in the past, implying, like, oh, I've told people before, but that was a mistake for X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. But now it's like, dude, the whole reason why this is all falling apart is because you didn't tell people, and you're saying, like, you learned from your mistakes, but, like, that's also, like, one of the mistakes he made with Salem when he was first resurrected, was when he first met Salem, he thought about telling her about what happened with him and the God of Light, but he didn't tell her. And then when he did tell her, that's when everything fell apart and Salem went crazy and their daughters died. So
yeah,
it's like, dude.
So I'm gonna like circle that specific section for a second.
Okay.
So a lot of people talk about, oh, poor. I've seen a couple statements talk about how poor Salem, how she lost her kids, especially like more along the lines of they feel bad for Salem because she lost her kids.
Mm-hmm.
After Bach made his picture, I think it was.
Oh yeah, where she's stabbing herself a gajillion times. That one.
Yeah.
Gosh, damn.
No, not that one. That one is powerful.
Okay.
But, no, it wasn't Bach. It was another.
Okay, because I was like, I could pull up his, because I don't think I've seen any other Salem art from him. I need to ask him if I could share his art on VYTALCast sometime. Or also, guys, if you make fan art, like, totally tweet at me, put it in the Discord, and be like, yo, this for VYTALCast, and I'll give you all the right ways to source it, and we can feature you.
So, with her having lost her children, who she killed,
both of them kind of did.
I just want to go ahead and point out that while Osmond did do a lot of really stupid, bad things, he was trying to get his children away from the psychotic woman, who is now egomaniacal.
I agree with that, but yeah.
And wanted to rule over the world. But he was trying to get his daughters away from that. He was like, oh, hey, me talking with her, she still wants to go about with the plan that she had. I don't want our girls caught up in this.
Yeah.
I want to get them away, get them safe.
Yeah.
And then she's just like, fire!
Yeah.
So I don't really feel sorry for Salem quite as much. So
Yeah.
my
I think
she
Hunt SD put the daughters better on like what I mean by they're both responsible was they were collateral damage in the fight. So that's kind of what I was trying to mean. Like,
I think back at that point, and I have nothing really to base this off, but it's just like an idea that popped a second ago.
mm-hmm.
I think at that point, I think Ozma's magic was more battle magic and offensive instead of defensive.
Okay.
So I think that's one of the reasons why, or it could be a reason why, we never see any defensive magic from him.
Okay.
But, I mean, at the same time, most of their magic, actually 99% of their magic battle was screen, so
yeah,
take that with what you will.
Yeah, that was...
I just thought it was kind of neat.
Yeah, I just wondered if, like, the reason why a lot of that battle was off-screen was because it did include the kids dying. They're like, no, that'd be too hard to watch and stuff.
I could understand that, too.
Yeah. Besides Church and Agent Texas from RVP, Crow could go to couples therapy.
With the bottle? He goes to couples therapy with, like, his flask.
Yeah.
Just puts it on the table. It's just like, this
isn't working.
Every time I try and leave, it's always back in my pocket. I don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel for Ozpin, but, like, I'm just saying, like, the other two rank over him for me right now.
No, that's fair. And, like, I completely understand why people don't feel sorry for Ozpin right now.
Yeah, but also, like, one reason I really particularly feel bad for Oscar is if Crow had broke his jaw, like, that would have sucked.
It'd be healed.
Yeah,
this is fine.
They're not with Jean, so it'd be a while, but...
Jean's gonna be the one that really...
Oh, sorry, you cut off your audio.
Oh,
No, like, you're fine. No,
okay,
like, cool. It was just, like, a bit...
Oh, I said, he'll be fine. Jean's really gonna be the one that'll him up.
Okay, your audio hates you, and right when you repeated, it cut in and out.
Jean is going to be the one that roughs him up.
Oh my gosh.
Is that better? No?
Yeah, that was better.
Yeah.
I heard what you said that
good.
time. Yeah. No.
Excellent. I'll whisper sweet nothings into your ear. So I can completely understand why people they don't feel sorry for us, and that they would feel more sorry for Crow and for Oscar. Oscar being somebody who is literally roped into this, no say whatsoever, did not sign up, did not really want to do this until it was forced upon him.
Yeah.
And Crow, who felt like he had nowhere to go, no one would accept him, and that his semblance puts him in a position where nobody should accept him.
Yeah.
But then he met Ozpin, and Ozpin gave him a place, gave him a purpose, made him feel like he was doing some good.
Yeah, which
I
No, you finish.
Okay. Which I can completely understand where Crow is coming from with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I can also understand why Ozpin still thinks that he's doing good. So I saw some people mention that they thought it was really messed up how Crow, how was it worded? It was Ozpin lied to Crow,
mm-hmm.
and then now he feels like he's not doing any good. I still doing good. He's doing a lot of good, going out and like slaughtering Grimm.
Yeah, and trying
while
to protect...
it seems like trying to protect people who can't protect themselves. Yeah. Because normal citizens can't really kill Grimm effectively. So, like, I still think Crow is taking it way more personally than I'm thinking about it, and that's understandable because he's the one that's literally having it happen to.
Yeah, well, it's also like Crow. I bet that like Ozpin is the whole reason why he chose not to go back to the bandits with Raven.
I agree.
Who Raven was his only blood family that we know of, and like he, that must have been a really tough decision for him. But he's like, I belong here. I have a purpose other than just sticking with a bunch of people who are just outcasts and I will just put in danger. But here I could put myself to use and be of more help. And now it's like, oh, it's all been for nothing. Like, you lied to me when I trusted you, and that's like the whole reason why I chose this life over that life. So that's
like it also makes sense.
Yeah, and Chosen One was saying Crow punched a kid. That's child abuse. I'm like, honestly, I would have punched him too.
He's a teenager. He's fine. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure he took a hit. He took a hit from Hazel.
Oh gosh, I forgot about that. Yeah, and Hazel's all baned up with the dust in his arm. I mean, it's just like he wasn't so much punching Oscar as he was punching Ozpin, whose age
at
is
the time,
yeah, which is a ridiculously high number. I think if it was back to just being Oscar, I think he would have restrained himself better, but it was still Ozpin doing all the talking, so
yeah. And that and there lies the double-edged sword of having Ozpin within Oscar's body. If somebody gets pissed off at Ozpin, they're gonna punch Oscar.
Yeah, which is why I feel really bad for Oscar in this. I'm like,
yeah, poor kid.
Like, if his jaw was broken, like, it would be like, oh, why? So, I don't know. They're in such a tricky situation. Also, like, can I just say props to Maria for, like, keeping things together in all this madness?
I'm old, but you should listen and shut up. You're all stupid. Let's go.
Yeah, it's like, lady, you gotta tell us who you are when you're in that farm, please. And also, what has she seen to, like, still be keeping it together and be like, I should be probably mad at this old man who's in a child, but I'm gonna hold off and tell everyone else to put their crap together, put it all in a bag, just keep it together, and take it with you.
Just get it together. Get it together.
Just put it together. Yeah, so
I know you're trying to have this stay relatively clean, so I will refrain from doing an exact quote.
Put your crap together. Just
get all your stuff together, Salem.
Don't care what you do.
Get it together.
Put it in a bag. Keep it together. Walks out of the room. Pokes it back in. Keep it together. So,
like the trickiest thing about all this, I think, is the fact that you're trying to lead a bunch of very emotional
teenagers,
and a man that feels betrayed, and you, being Ozpin, are trying to find a way also to end up saving humanity that you have been thrown into doing, much like how Oscar has been thrown into doing that. And you've been trying to figure it out for centuries and still have not figured it out. And even had, as the chat's talking about right now, they brought up Jin with the Relic of Knowledge.
Yeah.
And excuse me. How Ozma asked, how do I destroy Salem? And Jin was like, you can't. But that's the thing. It's like, from what we've seen in the flashback, and all of them have seen, but they have yet to really process, is the fact that they were already told how to defeat her, and that they can't do it. Yeah, it has to be Salem.
Yeah, which is honestly now like just a how moment. I'm like, okay, how do we get her to listen? How do we get her to understand? Which, honestly, I think comes back to the maidens being reminiscent of their daughters, and like, I don't know. I want to say the maidens play more of a role in, like, Salem has some sort of attachment to the powers because they remind her of her daughters. And
so after I watched chapter 3, I was driving from Milton Hall over to Lake and Heath.
Okay.
And those are the two bases that are over here in the UK that we're at. I drove from Milton Hall to Lake and Heath, and the entire time I'm freaking out. I like have my hands on both hands. I really do, and I'm just like, they were the daughters, the maidens. The reason why he felt the need to give these, 4 random girls like the powers, because they probably remind him of his daughters. Mm-hmm. So the maidens are essentially like an offshoot of his daughters.
Yeah.
And I was like, they're his daughters. Like, I kept repeating to myself, they're his daughters. They're his daughters. They're his daughters!
Yeah, which...
So, like it's nighttime, so people couldn't see me freaking out in my freaking car. But, like, I thought it was such a painful thing for me to, like, think about. And it was like a pain that was just... It hurts so good, RT. Like, I just... Kudos to you guys. Like, you really stepped your game up. I had... With volumes 4 and 5, but like 6... Whew.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Like, that's what I've been loving is, like, the episodes are so packed with stuff that it's like, oh, man, we got another 10 more episodes of this. And I'm just super, super, super thrilled.
I'm just hoping that they can keep it.
Yeah, and so the maidens, I think, play some sort of role in all this, because, like, Salem, I think, is still trying to be a mother in some way, because, now she's not only mourning Ozma's first death, but also now her daughters, and now seeing the maiden powers, she might be trying to recollect them and raise them up, as she's kind of doing with Salem right now. With Cinder, she's giving Cinder the tough love treatment right now, and like you're gonna be a bad child, and you're gonna have to redeem yourself in my eyes, but you're still my daughter. I'll still allow you back in, but you're gonna have to earn your spot. And
I can kind of see that.
I
feel that's a bit too like a familial thing.
Yeah,
because I think at this point she's kind of given up the parenting aspect of it so much.
It's definitely more like a commanding and demand. Like, it's very much more or less raising and more of like commanding and telling them what to do.
I am a goddess. Sort of thing. I mean, Salem has less of that I am a goddess sort of thing than Cinder. Which I'm really hoping for character development. And I don't mean just like backstory stuff. I mean like legitimate, hey, I'm not gonna be this really annoying southern friggin' character. Like,
yeah, which I think is kind of what Salem was hinting at, even kind of like, no, she's gonna have to do stuff on her own and improve and do better, which I think is kind of hinting on what they might be doing with the character. And also, AC Gears and Arms was asking, do you think the reason Osman drinks so much hot chocolate is because he's trying to lay off the alcohol after lifetimes of drinking? Staying sober?
I really like that idea, because a second ago, whenever I was doing this, I was staring at the screen. That's what I was thinking about. It was the hot chocolate one. I really like that idea, because as we've seen, he went through different stages, many years of just giving in to the despair, and like you have to think of how many lives he wrecked, like by being paired with them. And just having that happen, because unlike with the first incarnation, he came back and he was still him. It didn't seem like he had really any difference between himself and the other person. So from there, Austin, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, I saw him in the chat, but you were talking.
I just saw him. But from the fact that after that life, it seemed like he would actually be living alongside that life. So he's ruined many lives. Like the lives you stole part of the lyrics from friggin'
Sacrifice?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really kind of fits with that idea. And so all of the mistakes and everything that he made, I think, is more tailored not only to the fact that he literally made bad choices, but also because of the fact whenever he went into the next host, like whenever their minds meld, whenever their actual like minds and memories and knowledge melded, like there were some that couldn't take it, and that him with his despair just would drink himself to death.
That sucks.
Yeah, man.
I'm just like
we have nothing to really base it off of so much as inference.
Yeah, because it showed him transferring from body to body, which looked like two of them, at least, were just like alcoholics through and through.
Which he's been around longer than that.
Yeah.
So, but those are at least the ones that they focused on. I'm really curious as to like what we're going to find out from this next chapter. But with what we do know so far, like I'm honestly still surprised Osmond is able to keep going.
Yeah, because I mean, but part of me sees like his mission not only like a mission to save humanity, but also to kind of like save someone who he loves. Like surely they've parted ways, but I'm sure because of like the bond they had originally and now their fates are tied together, that there's some sort of connection for him there, and he just feels like it's so I'm having a hard time describing this, but like I don't know, I feel like even though she's his enemy, so to say, he still kind of like is going forward because of her. Does that make sense?
I could see that. Like he could potentially feel that his death is what drove her into the downward spiral that ended up making her into what she is now. So Osmond could end up having a type of really weird guilt of his own death. I was going to say survivor's guilt, but that normally only happens to those that survive, hence the name.
Yeah.
So,
which he's an odd way of like the survivor victim right now.
So in a way, with his predicament, I could see survivor's guilt being a legitimate thing, especially for, just imagine how the new hosts feel, knowing that once they've actually like connected, they in and of themselves are essentially the same person. Two minds inhabiting one body, but they all share everything. Yeah, even the experience, even like the muscle memory and the neurological pathways, they end up melding together inside that body. So they essentially become the same person. Yeah. So, oh my God, stuff. I don't need notifications.
Windows 10 is like, hey, you got any viruses, buddy?
It's like, what's going on, man? Hey, somebody sent you a... But with them becoming the same person, they could end up looking back at their own lives and being like, hey, I died. I caused this. These people suffered because of my death. And like, but now that he's alive, oh my God.
Windows is just like, hey, man.
It's my older roommate. She's so my phone I have paired with my computer through an app.
Oh, okay.
That allows me to like keep my phone someplace and still be able to do phone stuff with my computer.
Oh yeah, Apple does that automatically.
Oh, okay, that's neat.
Yeah, iMessage is a little handy. That was like one of the main reasons why I switched back to an iPhone instead of the Android. Although my RTX vlog was also the last straw with that Galaxy, so the frame rate stuttered in a lot of the footage, and like the audio would go whack. So I'm like, you can't even do camera. So I tossed it. So, anyway, what we were going. Oh, you were talking about Ozpin and his survivor's guilt.
So essentially, like what I just stated is good enough. Instead of me rambling, I looked at the comment section.
Yeah, comments going
and crazy. Let's see. Gears talks about Ozma's only true mistake I blame him for was the ones in his first reincarnation.
Yeah, which is kind of what I was saying with because that's when he held information back from Salem and caused the big reaction from her. Yeah,
and like I don't blame him, because I mean he's still probably reeling from the fact of, hey, we're reunited. You know, I now have a softcore goth girlfriend. And
oh,
like
I'm scared with
like,
how high on the list she is for me in that. Like it was like
like before the veins, like
yeah.
she's attractive.
She
with
was a
the
babe,
veins,
like
but she was
oh
total
no,
babe.
she's hot. Like
No.
it was like oh no,
We can't kill her now. She's too hot for this.
No, like I'm saying, like her, like from the time she met with Ozma, and then like before she is now, I was like, dang, babe, like. Like she is a queen. Like
Oh, that's
just like
terrible.
the smile she makes when she's like with Ozma, and I'm like, dang, my heart is like stopped, like pure who, but yeah,
Steven has a point.
yeah,
Says, but Salem did the same thing, and she still never that she was the reason for the destruction of the first humanity.
yes, and so I could see why she did though, because I don't think in that moment too, and she doesn't want to feel shame in Ozma's eyes. But I was thinking, well, Ozma, to a point, has a lot of that information that all humanity died. He is resurrected, and I put it on him because it was kind of his duty to like. He was told that like, hey, you need to unite humanity, and you need to like help Salem, essentially, kind of like, hey, she can't die. I don't know. I just thought like if he opened up first, then she would have quickly followed. And I thought he was in a better position to have opened up than her.
I can see where you're coming from with that. I'm not sure if I'm 100% on board with it.
That's
but
okay. And I'm 100% on board with that.
I can definitely see what you mean though, because when they were working together, mm-hmm. they were literally like getting people under them to revere and go along. They were uniting humanity.
Yeah.
Because once they united humanity and gathered up the relics, done. Ruby roll credit. Ruby's volume 1 and roll credits in like the first 5 seconds. Boom, done.
But here's the one question I have for that is, let's say all humanity got united underneath Salem and Ozma. Would the gods be necessarily happy with that? That they're being worshipped as gods and not as the two brothers?
I mean, I don't see no 10 Commandments for them, so...
True, but, like, if I was the creator of a world and someone else is getting, like, all of the credit, or, I'd be pretty pissed. Especially if it's the one that I, like, reset humanity for. It was like,
it's like,
hold on, you're supposed to learn...
Hold on a second. It's like, what do you mean you're following her?
Yeah.
This bitch, right here.
Yeah, I'd be like... You were supposed to learn a little bit of humility while I was God. Why do you have all of humanity following you and worshiping you as a god, which you are not? I am. Yeah. Like, what?
I can definitely understand. Like, if the gods came back and they had gathered everybody underneath them, I could definitely see the gods being like, "Yo, no, screw this. No, you gone."
Yeah.
Thanos style, just
yeah.
Just be like, no, we're done. Wipe the entire planet. We out. Flap.
Yeah, and Hannah Ray's like, so Salem was like the Thanos of Ruby with her power, in her power to piss off the gods.
Yeah, she was she was like an expert in like being able to be a trifling ass bitch.
Yeah,
against the gods.
She was like half of humanity. How about everyone? Yeah. AC Gears and Arms.
99%.
Yeah.
I don't think they would have known unless reunited immediately. Well, I mean, aside from Ozma knowing that, I mean, he didn't really know where to look.
Yeah, he did.
So I could see that being a wrench in the plan.
Yeah,
but
it didn't seem until it was like after that incarnation that he even found the lamp, and then he used the lamp to find the others.
Yeah, and that wasn't for like
It was a couple incarnations.
Yeah.
Also, like, I love the 11th commandment, "Thou shalt do the dance," from, is that Evan Almighty? Yeah.
I never saw Evan Almighty.
It's a pretty funny one. And like, what's his name? Morgan Freeman is God. And at the very end, he introduces the 11th commandment, which is "Thou shalt do the dance." And it was really funny. Inspector Who's saying, "My hope for the end of RWBY, the F the gods, will just be fine without them." And that might be the direction they could go, possibly.
Yeah,
like,
I would end up seeing that as like the better option. The goods. Oh, sorry, the gods. I totally read that as the goods. The goods left remnant.
The goods.
But I could see that the world is a better place without the gods.
It does
all the atrocities aside, because you still had atrocities just the same as when the gods were there.
True.
But then you would just go to the god and be like, "We need assistance," and they'd just be like, "Nah, you good."
It's kind of like how in Greek mythology, how like a lot of the atrocities was because Zeus couldn't keep it in his pants, but like once the Greek gods kind of like backed off from humanity started doing better, so to say.
Like once they became the Roman god.
Yeah. And someone's like, "Do you think that they have their eye on Remnant while they're gone?" I don't think they do. It's kind of like hey, we're gonna go peace out, and then like once you bring us back, we'll see what your progress is like. And
imagine it being your teacher at you don't care about.
Sorry, your audio cut in and out doing that.
Oh my god. Am I good?
You're good. You're good. I think if anything is internet connection.
I'm just gonna swing this over close to my face.
Okay.
The thing on my door just scared the living hell out of me. I was just like, "Who's in the house?"
Like I said, paranormal activity.
Just hand reaches out. It's just a grim hand pulls me right through.
Is it cinders in your house?
Oh no!
Oh
no! She's not burning my house down. Oh no!
Yeah.
Just like, keep the grim hand off me, please.
Yeah.
But
turn the lights off, please. Okay.
Turn the lights down low.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Crap, where was I?
Sorry, I had to just really meme.
Oh, I was saying, imagine the god's teacher at a school where they don't care about you.
Oof. Yeah, no, yeah. So pretty much every school I've gone to.
Ouch, that sucks.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, yeah, that seems a whole lot more relatable, especially if you talk about church. Okay. Not to be mistaken with Leonard Church. I'm talking about church. But since somebody
see. So I would also so I'll go ahead and get us back onto the chapter 4.
Oh yeah.
Talk real quick. Actually, I'll go ahead and go to chapter 2. I think it was chapter 2.
Okay.
With Little Miss Muffet, or Malachite.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I don't know about everybody else, but I'm really hoping she's related to the Malachite twins.
You know, that's what a lot of people are leaning towards. They're like, hey, if you want to keep some sort of continuity, that's the best way to go. Yeah.
I just think it's really neat.
Also,
when I heard her name, I was just like, Melody and Milsha, I'm gonna end up breaking my freaking headset with this wall right here.
Yeah, hold on, Malachite. How do you spell that? Oh, never mind. Found it. Malachite twins, RWBY. Because
Melanie and Milsha.
It's like, correct me if I'm wrong, which I'm going on to Google Images to find out. And dang it,
they don't look alike.
No.
Auntie twice removed.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking, for some reason, I thought their skirt designs had a bit of a spiderweb thing to it.
Oh, see, that would have been really neat.
But they don't. So that's what I was looking them up to find out. Why can't this fandom just not do art? Why?
It's a good thing you don't have it on screen share.
Why? Gosh dang it. This is why we
Save that
can't
one
have
in the folder
nice...
for later.
You ruined a perfectly good popsicle.
I used to have a fear of spiders, but then I learned the truth.
Widowmaker. Yeah, gosh. I mean, it's not as bad as Cal Belladonna, but like, gosh dang it. It's just one.
I thought you said Cal Belladonna, and I literally Cal and like dressed up like one of the Belladonnas. I was just like,
no.
I can see her sporting gear as pauldron.
It just seemed like one piece of art sort of went through the filter, and I was like, really? Just that? I mean, no one was naked, but it was just... They were sharing some ice cream. I'll say that.
I think I might know that picture.
Yeah, and I was like, why? But it's not as bad as Blake's mom, because a lot of stuff gets through the filter, and you're just like, gosh dang.
Yeah, man. Like, you can't stop
to Google.
You can't stop the loot train. Let's see. Fun fact: the Malachite twins were the original designs for characters. They were originally to be sisters instead of Yang. I knew about the Ruby and Weiss, but I didn't know they were originally to be sisters instead of Yang.
That White Rose just got a little weird.
What? just gonna
yeah, no.
do this right here. I ran out of wall. I couldn't go anymore. Unfortunately,
that's where the room ends, right there.
That's I mean, this is, I have like a 2.5 bedroom house.
Oh.
And like, this is a half bedroom. It was my landlord's daughter's room, and she's like a little tyke. So
she's just a half a person.
She was a half person.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
she was like little legs just running around.
Oh, okay. But, I was like left side or right side, but never mind.
See, you were going like symmetrical. I'm just going like right down, right in the middle.
I mean, originally I was thinking that, but I was like, maybe she's a left or a bottom. I didn't want to say a top or
Darth Maul style.
Yeah, Darth Maul style. Okay.
But
you mean when she eavesdropped in the door?
Yeah.
Oh wait, are you talking about Callie? Or are you just making a?
No, yeah, she's talking. They're talking about Callie.
Okay. Yeah, never mind.
So what was I? Oh yes, with Little Miss Muffet kite.
Yeah.
So, I'm really interested in seeing what goes down with her and Cinder, because like most information brokers, she's already willing to friggin' find out more information on this person to sell it to another person.
Yeah.
Like
she's taken a few notes from the book of Isaiah from Durarara.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love Isaiah.
Isaiah. Fans. We haven't had our Innocence Volume 3. Wow, Steven. Okay.
Keep your innocence, chat. Mine is long gone.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, chat. I didn't mean to go there, but so yeah, I
am excited. I am excited for the Neo versus fight that should be in the future.
Dude, yeah. I am pumped, and you were there when I sort of predicted there would be a Cinder versus Neo fight back in Volume 4.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm not crazy. I did say that. I feel like,
I mean, you are a little bit.
No, I admit I was half wrong, half correct. I was wrong in that Neo would hunt down Team Ranger. And then because my idea was she would hunt down Team Ranger, then like somewhere in a fight with them finds out that Torchwick died because of a Grim, not because of Ruby, and therefore would put the blame on Cinder, and then she'd go after Cinder. And
yeah,
we're having the she goes after Cinder part be correct, and I'm like, hey, close enough. Like
John's left field question. Anyone besides me looking forward to a Ty and Raven?
Dude,
are you the only one, my friend? Dude, I am pumped. I am so stoked to see some Ty and Raven sort of freaking dialogue.
Dude,
maybe a fight.
Have them fight.
Because I want to see Ty really let loose.
Oh, dude. That, like, people were going really... Sorry, can I just...
Who's the popular one now?
No, it's learning information on the person. Okay, so I was saying this last episode of Ruby was also the one to swear the most. I think we hit 2 or 3
in one chapter.
In a short chapter too.
Yep, and
so,
they used bastard this time too.
I know, it was like
another B word.
We're learning new words this week on Ruby.
It's just nothing but like Sesame Street, but it's superimposed with freaking Ruby characters.
Yeah, it's so like I think the Raven and Ty reunion could possibly break that record.
I would like to point out that with Maria's comment, it was never stated that they were married. It's actually never been stated that anyone outside of Kali and Gira, and I'm going to use Willow, even though we aren't confirmed that's her name, Weiss's mom, and Jacques have been married. They're the only ones that have been confirmed to be, have been shown to really be married. Oh, and
is Summer and Ty maybe?
No, it hasn't been stated.
Oh yeah, you're talking explicitly stated.
Like, you know.
Because I can easily see Ty and Raven kind of like, hey, let's have some fun. Oops, now there's a kid, and then she ran off.
I was trying to say Ren's as well, but I got spooked by the thing on my door again, and you know, my life is just in a downward spiral.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's Lee and Ren. Actually, that wasn't even like remotely a pun at all, but whatever.
Yeah. So you're
like
saying like it's just exes, but not necessarily
yes. So
ex-spouses.
It's right. So far they're just exes because it was never stated that Raven and Ty were married. It was never stated that Ty and Summer were married. So until it's stated, and they just were like, I'll keep my own name, like that'd be fine. Yeah. But like it's just never been stated that they were married. They never seem to have rings of any sort.
True.
It could have been an unofficial.
I could have swore I saw Ty wear a ring.
Ty has not worn a ring.
Oof, I'm wrong. Yikes.
This is Ty, my friend. This is Ty.
He's gone effed the whole team.
And Crow's next.
Oh gosh.
Dun dun dun.
Crow's like, listen, bud, I'm not that drunk. Please no.
He's like, I'm not that drunk.
Tonight.
Maybe tomorrow.
Gosh.
Try me in the morning.
Yeah. Oh man, Hannah Ray's like, you should see the Locus and Felix fan art. Yeah, I remember seeing it during season 13. Thank you. I remember.
You fool.
Yeah. The people.
So talking about Ty, since Gears brought up a statement about his weapons, I could easily see Ty having no weapon at all.
Okay.
I could easily see Ty. Because he's already got the guns.
Gosh, dang it! I'm like, okay, you're gonna have to explain. Oh gosh, dang it! Should have known.
See, I have a hard time believing that Revan and Ty fell in love. I know.
Yeah,
two different.
Kind of makes me wonder if they just had a one night stand type situation.
I mean, Revan was a Sith Lord, and Ty was just a dad. So. He was a Jedi turned Sith Lord.
It just makes me wonder, like, what was their situation? Like, I think her coming back to him might implicate that they kind of had like an off and on thing until they had a kid together at least.
I could easily have seen them having been like quite serious, at least with during the school, and then she happened to get pregnant. And then was like, yo, I'm going back to the bandits. I can't take them. And then just dropped him off on Ty.
Yeah.
And then bounced.
Well, also,
I could easily see that.
But also, like, she tried to convince Yang to join the bandits and was like, you don't want to be with Ozpin. Like, once I found out about Ozpin, I figured I'm better off alone. So I wonder if, like, once Team Stark was brought into the whole Maiden conflict. That's when Raven was like, I don't want to be on this. I don't want to be involved. You know, she's like, I want to live for a long time, not a short time type situation.
Yeah. And especially with, like, how Raven's mindset is with the strong surviving. I could see her in a situation like that being like, well, in this case, I wouldn't be the strong.
Yeah.
So she'd probably be like, not gonna end up surviving. So I'm gonna dip out and just attack some weak civilians and just take what I want. Is that cool, guys?
Just gonna go in a pub, find a pub, have a nice pint, and wait for all this to blow over.
Dude, when you told me that yesterday, like, I just looked at it, I was just like, this dude. Oh man, it was a really good line.
Dude, I haven't seen that movie in like 3 years, but that line sticks with me.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Johns is saying, actually, I can also see Raven trying to talk to Tai into taking Yang and coming with her, leaving Ozpin, and Tai refusing.
Well, Tai's not with Ozpin. In all the interactions we've had. Ghost!
Oh, cool, nice. The Christmas gift I've been preparing for friends just fell over. That's
oh,
cool.
nice. Is it broken?
No, it's good.
Okay, good. I was about to say, damn.
Yeah, no, it's if it broke, that's 7 years of bad luck. Ugh.
Oh, it's a mirror.
Yeah,
you guys heard it first here.
Yeah,
his friend's gift is a mirror.
Yeah, no, it's a mirror. Because everyone's cosplay friends, so I got some portable mirrors and I put some LED lights around them. So
that is dope, dude.
Are you kidding me? The last strip isn't lighting up again. I have to. These strips piss me off. Okay, back to Tai and Yang.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to scroll up on the comment section. So
they're starting
to
get
a little bit of this. So the Tai and Raven sort of, actually it's mainly just like the Tai situation with his kids to his relationships. I really like one because Tai is probably my favorite male character in the show.
Yeah.
And we know like almost nothing about him. Now I will mention Gears is talking about how I still hold Tai responsible for abandoning his girls in their time of need. He had depression, I get it. But he had girls who needed him, most of all Yang. I agree. However, there are, like, for Tai, we don't know how young he was at the time. And I'm not trying to use it as an excuse, but there are people who just shut down. Now, there's no telling, we don't really know how long he kind of
shut down,
kept to himself. We don't really know for how long, but the amount of time may not matter as much as just the traumatic impact it was on Yang and how much it ended up actually. Well, we don't really know how old he was, but we know he was younger.
I expect it was like, if anything, very early 20s. Because
I would say that when they...
Let's say Yang's 18 right now. I would say right now he's hitting around 38. Him and Crow are hitting around 38 years old.
I would definitely lean closer to 40.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good estimate.
I say that because basing since we don't know his birthday and we don't know how their months, I would say going based off of hours alone and how we can go with Yang having been 16 when she went to Beacon.
I think it was 17. Because Ruby was 15 and she got it.
Ruby was 15, 17, got it. So if for whatever reason if they graduated, then that would put him at 21, 22.
Okay.
Like depending on how their month structure work.
Yeah.
And if he even really finished.
Oh, finished school?
Yeah, if finished Beacon, he may have left. We don't really know. However, that's not the point.
Yeah.
He could have been like late. He could have been in his mid to late 20s. But like I was trying to say, I'm not trying to use the age as like as an excuse.
Yeah.
Did you say that? Did he say they graduated?
I was gonna
that
say
graduated. Okay, never mind. I remember.
I was gonna
You're
say
right.
I thought
Thanks,
the whole
John.
team graduated. So
Shout out to John Johns for putting me in my place.
yeah.
So I don't really blame him. I think it was poor on him to not be able to deal with it in a better way and be there. But I don't really blame him for his reaction because I mean his first wife left, or first girl left, just straight up abandoned him.
Yeah.
And then the next woman that he really cared about and had a daughter with dies on a mission.
Ugh. Yeah.
And I mean,
it's a lot to handle and process.
Yeah. It hits hard. And like I don't blame him. Do I think he should have handled it differently? Or could have? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not my place to sit there and be like,
you're
a piece of shit, blah blah blah. And I'm not saying that's what he's saying, but in that case, I don't necessarily blame Ty for his reaction. Just like I don't blame Crow finding his solace in alcoholism.
Yeah.
Like I don't like it. I don't think that Crow necessarily needs it
or deserves
I feel like
it.
he could find a more productive way to go about it. But I mean, he's a high functioning alcoholic. So
yeah,
unfortunately, that's just kind of how he is.
Yeah, and
like
part of me kind of wonders. Let's say, how sometimes in shows, parent figures in the show, especially in a show where it's like, if you follow this path, this is where you'll end up, and usually philosophically, the protag has to put a flip on what they did in the path to somehow avoid that outcome. I kind of wonder if the reason why the mom is dead, Raven is gone, both Crow and Ty are severely depressed, if that's supposed to be hey, this is what the hunter life will lead to, and also Summer's wishes for Ruby was to just not become a hunter, if that's kind of okay, what is the team gonna do to avoid that outcome? What happens in their story? What did they learn from past generations' mistakes?
Yeah, and I feel like that's the trope, and one that is very common in normal life, because what you want is for your offspring is to be better than what you were at their time. That's how I am with my troops.
Yeah,
I'm still a relatively new NCO, but I'll still sit there and be like, hey, my job is to prepare you to be a better leader and a better worker than I was at your position. And I've seen people that are far smarter and far better than I am in terms of practical knowledge and understanding of what we do than I have been. And it surprises me and teaches me as I'm teaching them.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about the next generation of people, is the one previous is supposed to help build them up to make them better. So in this case, with Yang and Ruby, seeing Ty having that happen, Yang more than Ruby, she sees what can happen, and unfortunately Yang goes about it in kind of a negative fashion. So she knows how to be able to deal with loss in a way, because she's been dealing with it, and she hasn't let it control her, by what we can gauge from her statement in burning the candle back in Volume 2. But Yang also bottles a lot of it up. She doesn't really deal with it,
which is kind of why she has so many outbursts.
Yeah.
Or until she learned in Volume 4, but yeah.
I mean, she still has her issues. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
I love Yang because
you don't just
she's my girl.
Flip over a new leaf in an instant. Oh, yeah. It takes process, but she's shown progress since then.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The way she handled herself against Mercury, while I have my complaints about overall how the fight went down, the way that she I wouldn't say compartmentalized, but the way that she focused on the mission rather than dealing with her anger right then and there is a testament to her willingness to actually be better.
Yeah.
So I like that. Seeing how her loss, she still shut down herself. Like whenever, she lost her arm, she shut down.
Yeah.
Like she could have gone with Ruby.
Yeah.
I mean, she would have been it would have been a huge handicap. But she could have gone with Ruby.
Yeah. I mean, I could imagine like her just seeing like her life kind of being over at that point with her arm being gone and like sisters ran off, Blake's who knows where, Yang's life was thrown out
and
there.
Like I imagine that's how Ty felt, at least for a time, because he lost someone that he really cared about and he shut down. So part of him probably felt like it's not worth it. And not to make things too personal, but like my dad, he actually like tried to commit suicide when there was issues going between him and my mom. So I mean, like I was in the house, like in the next room when he tried. So like it was a huge, like it hit me like very hard. Like he used my medication and everything. So for a good while, he and I didn't really talk, but he shut down in a way.
Gosh.
Like he didn't care that there was, that I was there. He didn't care about the family so much. It was literally just hit between him and my mom.
Yeah.
So that was their thing. So I can understand that sort of shutdown. It's like not wanting to deal with anything else, thinking that everything's done. So I can understand it and forgive in a way, while also being like, hey, you got to learn from this. We all are going to fall off the horse and whatever. There's going to be something that's going to put us all in a dark place, but you got to learn that the darkness is only there because there's still light. So you got to go towards do more stuff. Yeah. Way to end that uplifting end of my segment. It's just like go do the stuff.
Yeah. It's just.
But.
Yeah. Also, like I'm seeing Maria in the chat. She's talking about Yang. She says everyone in the fandom is saying that Yang is a hypocrite in keeping secrets herself, and I'm like, question mark. So.
Well, I mean, she does have her own secrets that she's keeping. Like.
Yeah, she
didn't necessarily
tell them about Yang. I mean, Raven being the.
Yeah. So, I mean, she could have done that. I mean, I'm still confused on why Raven didn't just go, yo, like the comic strip, like it's like, yo, I'm gonna open up this portal, no time to really end, but I want you to shoot every bullet you have into this portal.
Oh yeah,
just like totally could have done it, but yeah, like Yang does have her own secrets. Everybody does. However, her secrets, save for the maiden thing, but that's not really important now.
Yeah,
is the fact is now just it doesn't matter. So while I can understand them calling her a hypocrite, I can also see where it doesn't point.
Yeah, and there's some people in the chat sort of defending Yang on it. And okay, Hunt SD says it's more of a personal thing they don't need to know. I agree with that for the most part. It's kind of like, well, she's family, and it's kind of like a personal moment of like, I don't know, she kind of just told her mom to just kind of like go, like, if you don't want to be a part of this, get out. And like her mom's, from what we saw after the credits, is probably going to try to right some wrongs and maybe go through some personal development and may rejoin the Fringe after that. I don't know. It's also like they could always come back for the Spring Maiden later.
Yeah. So John Johns brings up an interesting thing. So Raven could have killed Cinder many times, but to do so would to declare war on Salem. She didn't want to do that. Understandable. However, her plan was to take the relic and leave. Like that was it.
It's gonna
like,
put
take
the
relic
target on
and
her
then
back.
Get out. That was still gonna put her on the radar.
Yeah, as if she wasn't already on the radar for being like, I'm the Spring Maiden. It was like, yeah.
So I didn't mind the reveal. I didn't mind the reveal.
Oh,
I just feel
I
like
loved the reveal.
I feel like the execution of it was a little lacking because the wait, the time it took for the reveal, just felt like so long. Because it's just like, she's not the Spring Maiden. ... Throw I am. Or like when she throws it, she still has like ... I am. Like, I love dramatic pauses.
Yeah.
Any of you guys that have heard me tell stories in the past know I love dramatic pauses.
Yep.
But I just feel like that was way too much of a... It would have been... I feel like if they had just shortened it, it would have been much better.
Okay. I could see that. For me, I've seen some people hate how it was revealed, but I was like, I liked it. Like, sure, it was a little cliche, but I loved that moment. And
you can't bargain with Salem though.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I remember we know that more saying, now.
Well, also, like, Raven was kind of like, no, I'm going to use the Spring Maiden's power, which this was before the reveal. She's like, I'm going to use that power, if anything, as a defense against Salem if she ever comes after us. And it was kind of like, she thinks of the strong lives while the weak dies. She's kind of thinking of, let's build up our own strength and make sure we'll end up on top, I guess.
Excuse me. I could see that, and I'm not trying to necessarily say that John's wrong with his thing. I don't remember her stating that she was going to try and bargain. I do remember more. I have come to bargain.
Salem Mamu, I've come to bargain.
Did you just call Salem Mom?
Mamu, like Dormammu, but like Salem.
Dormammu.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I got it. I heard
Salem Mom.
Salem Mom.
Oh no.
I was like, did you just call Salem Mom?
No. She's not Mom. What are you talking about?
Oh. Just like harder, Mommy.
No. Oh no.
Yeah. I could totally see. I don't know if anybody's done. I don't know. So if they have.
No, I've already done it.
You have an image.
The thing is,
send me the image.
I've already accidentally called Salem Mommy, so like that's why we were to say that.
With chapter 4, whenever they have Hazel like being gripped by like all the hands.
Oh, like a harder.
I'm just like, please, somebody, if you have that image and you know who has done it. Please feel free to send it to me.
Yeah.
Like, David probably has my stuff already listed. Feel free to just tweet it at me or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd be more than happy to have it.
Emal, dude, your Twitter handle. I was gonna say your Twitter handle kills me. I know. I didn't say it during my reaction, but I definitely thought it at some point. Oh, speaking of Salem being a mom and that scene. And I've been kind of dying to say this for the last hour and a half.
Oh, go for
it. That was like another scene of Salem kind of seeming like the evil stepmom kind of thing. Like, I don't know, like, a lot of me felt like she was treating everyone in that room as her children at some point. Like, not necessarily like a loving, nurturing mother, but definitely like a mother stereotype we've seen in like evil stepmoms.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, you agree with me?
I agree.
Okay, because
I could definitely see that. And I didn't think about it in terms of the evil stepmother trope.
Yeah, ever since not volume 3, chapter 3, I've been seeing Salem as like a mother more than anything now. I'm like, oh my gosh, the maidens make sense. The way she treats Cinder makes sense. Like, it's not loving and nurturing. And like some people, like I think Lorelai on Twitter was kind of like, no, I disagree. She's not a mother. I'm like, whoa, hold on. She's not Mother of the Year by any chance. Like, far from it.
But I mean, did she abandon her children?
No? Like I said, she
didn't abandon her children. Like some mothers out there.
Raven. Yeah.
That was so much harder when you have one leg bent wrong direction.
Yeah, okay, Steven wants to talk about how protective Hazel was last chapter.
Hazel, the big brother of the year. So I actually talked with my buddy Kenneth about this recently too. Because we talked about Hazel and his motivation and how I thought his motivation was garbage. But so Hazel instinctively takes on like the older brother sort of role, the protector.
Yeah, and we know he lost his sister.
Yes, he lost his sister.
So he
during her time at Beacon.
Yeah.
So he holds Ozpin accountable. And I was like, well, we don't really know how she died.
Yeah.
Not exactly. So it could have been like a training accident. It could have been a Grim. It could have been like she wasn't ready. It could have just been, you know, a multitude of things. Hell, if it was really Ozpin's fault, she would have been thrown off the side of a cliff. But who does that to their...
Bad landing strategy. Uh-oh. Okay, guys. I think we might be having technical difficulties with John. John, you okay? Oh boy. Chat, you're able to see him, right? Okay, hold on. I might have to hang up on John and call him back. Okay, John. Your internet good, dude? Oh boy. Oh boy. Here, can I at least get OBS to... Oh boy. Yikes. Hold on, guys. Yeah, the spirit got him. Thanks, Steven. We totally needed that. There. Okay, now at least my capture is... Alright. He's dead. Rip John. Thanks, Mina. See him standing still. Yeah, his video camera froze. Well, not just his camera, his audio froze. Gosh dang. I wonder what happened to his internet. I think, I'm gonna try messaging him on Twitter, because I don't think his Discord is working. Oh, wow, he just hung up altogether. Okay, hold on. Great, thanks for hanging up on me, so, like, the thing just... How do I fix my capture? Hold on. Here, we're gonna go piss. Hold on. But there, okay. Hi guys. We're gonna wait for Jean to be available again. Yikes. So we were talking about Hazel. Let's talk about David is the new John. Yeah, when I was split between the two cameras, it's like I am both John and David. I am Javid. Okay, he just messaged me back. He's saying, sorry, working on the issue, still typing. Okay, so this isn't our first VYTALcast where John's internet has cut out in the middle. If any of you guys remember, like, VYTALcast 30-something, no, not even 30-something, it was like 20-something. And if we had to cut it into two parts, because what happened was his internet died. We ended the stream a bit. No, my internet died, but his internet has died before as well. And we had to have basically the same episode of VYTALcast put into two different streams. I'm kind of hoping that's not the situation here. Sorry, working on the issue. It's okay. I'll keep them warm for you. Okay, we'll see what happens with him. Yeah, Huntest D is saying, I barely remember John's other one. It was so long ago. Yeah, it was so long ago. We've gone through 2 co-hosts since then. So, Hazel I see as, like, being, like, a big brother to everyone, but also, like, I wonder how his sister died. Part of me wondered if his sister was going to be a maiden of any sort. And this is just, like, me spitballing. I do not care if I'm wrong on this. This is just me spitballing. Maybe if Hazel's sister was the original Spring Maiden, who then ran off with Raven, and then Raven saw her as weak and therefore killed her and took the powers. Like, that's just a really very loose and would probably complicate the plot way too much idea that I had. But yeah, is chat sticking with me? Worst father award goes to Dr. Leonard freaking Church. Yeah, I agree with that. The director sucked as a father. Okay, Inspector Who, I only half agree with you. It's good to see Hazel and Tyrion. No, it's good to see Hazel again. Tyrion, spoiler for my reaction video, I'm like, ew, Tyrion. Ugh. Like, but also, like, Tyrion's reactions to like teasing Emerald and them being like, "Oh, we're Cinder," like kind of like teasing Cinder, going like, "Oh, I know you look up to your senpai." I was just kind of like, dude, Tyrion, Salem's gonna be throwing a fit at all of you. Like, she probably won't care we're not on that mission. She's gonna go after you. And Tyrion's all keeping his smug face till he's in the same room as Salem. And then like she throws the table and totally knocks him over. I'm like, you deserved that. You deserved that. Tyrion is a trash mammal. I agree with you, Maria. Oh gosh, Mina. No, Mina. Okay, that's good. Oh great, Mina is craving Korean barbecue. Mina, why can't you say that in the chat? I could still see you there. Okay, so let's see some of the chats. People are like, I missed my Tyrion. And hey, I like Tyrion. Hey, like, if you like Tyrion, I have no problem with that. I just personally get rubbed the wrong way by him. Hannah, what is up with you and saying Felix will just flirt with any character in RWBY? Come on. Okay. John says, well, knowing that what we know about Ozpin's capacity for lying / telling half-truths, I bet her death was more than just a tragic training accident, but I wouldn't go as far as saying she was a maiden. Yeah, and like I said, that's just me spitballing ideas. Like, I just take things, I'm like, this could sound interesting, and I spitball it. When I say stuff like that, it's never like I think I'm right, or here's a wall of evidence. It's more of a, I think this sounds interesting, but I'm not gonna like hold any loyalty to the idea. Like last time Clyde, it appears you've been by yourself in this call for the last 5 minutes. Wait, what? Did Discord just message me? By yourself for the last 5 minutes, the bandwidth patrol has asked me to disconnect you to save bandwidth. That stuff doesn't grow on trees. Fine. Okay. Good again. I'm just glad I turned off my webcam for him, so. Like, what do they expect from Oscar with Ozpin being gone? Wait, what? That has nothing to do with your technical issues, John. So John is saying, what do they expect from Oscar with Ozpin being gone? I guess that's a good question for the chat. What do you guys expect from Oscar? My answer is too much. Okay, so Stephen Rawlings saying he's a scorpion. Okay, exactly, that's the sarcasm. Oh, okay, you were talking to Maria about that. Oh yeah, Mercury. Okay, Mercury surprised me with sticking up for Emerald. Like, I always figured in the earlier volumes they kind of had more of a sibling relationship, but ever since volume 3, I just wasn't seeing that from him at all. And so to see him stick up to Tyrion for her, especially when they're like the bottom of the food chain in this hierarchy with the villains, I was like, whoa, dang, he's sticking with her. And yeah. John's like, okay, so yeah, guys, what do you expect from Oscar? And also, is anyone on the same train with me with being surprised by Mercury when he stood up for Emerald? Because I don't know, I was kind of taken back from that. I would have expected that from Volume 2 Mercury, but not Volume 6 Mercury. I don't know. He seemed more self-centered since then. Let's see. Inspector Who are you? Mercury and Hazel were bros. Hazel especially. Yeah, they were both giving off older brother vibes, which was nice to see. Like, I mean, Salem kind of brought it up herself a bit, that they're all kind of there for, like, love and, like, other moral stuff, but, like, love was one of them, and a lot of it seems to be, like, a family love. Like, Salem, I already said, kind of being, like, a mother, but then also, like, I guess Mercury and Emerald's kind of being, like, siblings, and, like, Emerald didn't have a family growing up, and Mercury kind of had a terrible relationship with his father. So I could see a lot of that. And Hazel also with a lost sister. I'm really wondering about Tyrion. I guess that's another reason why I'm bothered by Tyrion so much is I don't know why he's there. I'm guessing he looks up to Salem in a motherly way, which is why he doesn't want to disappoint her. But that's just how I see it. Okay. He's starting to call. Let's see. Hold on. Guys, I'm going to quickly go back to this and see if I can answer. Okay, John, you there? Hey, you're back.
Yo! Okay, I'm back, finally.
You're back. Awesome.
Very weird. I apologize, everybody. I know you were scared for my well-being, but hey.
Yeah,
I'm back.
Paranormal activities did not get to you.
It's like, yeah, no, the ghosts. It was Salem and Cinder.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, it was all Emerald. All an illusion.
Emerald was like, you guys can't see anything right now.
Like, too bad, yo.
So John Johns was saying Tyrion's there because he worships Salem. I just want to know, how did he come across Salem? Or how did Salem come across him? I don't know why Tyrion's there.
I feel like that'll end up being addressed.
Yeah, it definitely will.
Possibly
this volume. Okay.
I feel like this is going to be the volume of backstory.
Backstory. Yeah, that's an interesting way of seeing it. I mean, I kind of wonder if they're going to take their times at Brunswick Farms to kind of explain Team Stark a bit, maybe.
That's entirely possible. I see that being a way to go.
Especially with Crow's mental state and being like, I had nowhere else to go. And you took me in, and now I feel like I have nowhere else to go again. Like...
So I read Maria's latest comment, the one about from a guy. I did not notice it was Maria saying that, and I was just, as I was reading, I was like, God, this dude's life just is terrible. Then I realized, oh wait, no, she's talking about Mercury.
Yeah, she is. Yeah,
I was like, man, I've also gotten a soft spot for Mercury a bit, like lately, because
he stood up for Emerald.
Not only that.
Okay.
This was actually beforehand.
Okay.
So I don't think he's a good person by any means. I don't think he's really redeemable either.
Yeah.
However, I do like Mercury because, you know, when you start to
being a trash boy,
he's just good at being just an utter dick.
Yeah, he is.
But I also have a soft spot for him because I've been really wanting more stuff about him, and like, I'm beating around the bush. I'm going to be Mercury for RTX 2019.
Oh, boy.
So, and I've been working on his moves.
That'll be exciting.
So it's gonna be so freaking cool if I can pull this off.
Oh man, as someone who studied Taekwondo,
way harder
I could say
than I initially thought.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as someone who studied Taekwondo, like, good luck.
Yeah, because I'm learning the basic kicks of Taekwondo because I did Sancho, Chinese kickboxing.
Oh, okay.
So the kicks are different. The stances are different. The way that I throw my kick is different. I don't do ground game. I don't do capoeira stuff. I haven't really worked on my core as much as I should in order to be able to do these moves.
Yeah.
And Taekwondo focuses on form and on like being able to actually like keep your leg up and being able to, you know, kick it straight out.
Yeah.
I never really had to do that. So.
Oh, really? Because that's like all I've done.
So, David, give me your talent. Give me your skill.
Because all I have to say is pivot your foot a lot and try to keep your balance centered. So it's
really tough.
It'll come to you eventually. I would say like roundhouse kick, outward crescent, and inward crescent would be good kicks to start with, and maybe some side thrust kicks. But it's kind of funny because when I was a little kid, I used to basically drill with what kind of became his kick routine. Yeah. Which is basically roundhouse step with the foot that you kicked with, reverse backwards thrust kick, step with that foot, back to another roundhouse, kinda. You're basically circling in a straight line. Okay. It's a very progressive kick attack thing, and they basically would have you drill this to get your balance, because it's very easy to get dizzy with. And it's like balance and aim. And so, like, if I'd feel really stupid for asking, but it's like I could sort of demonstrate what I mean if anyone's ready for like a martial arts lesson, but it's not too important to discussion. But
yeah, we can always show it to him in the bloopers.
Yeah, blooper reel. David accidentally kicks the mirrors off of his desk. 14 years of bad luck.
Right into Jeff's face of the hang in there cat.
While his empty relationship goals frame falls with a broken frame.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, a year ago I thought I have something in this by now, but
that's okay, man. I don't have Jack in mine either.
Yeah, dude, I bought like Makoto X main pro tag Persona 5 ship art thinking it would fit in this, and it doesn't, so I'm like, guess it'll stay empty. Yeah.
Guess I'll just be alone.
Yeah.
So Stoic, the Dragon Eater, says that capoeira is a beautiful, deadly dance. I agree. However, in terms of like actual like self-defense combat, I don't think it's all that effective.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you know the basic defenses for kicks, then it'll be a cakewalk for you to fight against. So
like I love how smooth the transitions and the strength it requires and the coordination. I think that's all fantastic, because I'm a huge fan of movement. I love being able to actually move how I want to move, being able to move in
it's very
various
much
ways.
A mix between fire and water bending, I would say.
I do dig that.
Yeah,
it's very Zutara.
Yes, it is. And I just remember my martial arts teacher told me I'd be a water bender, but from my style of fighting. But yeah. Although I kind of want to argue against that with a little bit of earth style, but gosh dang it, mean it. Also,
did you end up asking the question I proposed
about Oscar?
Yes.
That was the first thing I asked, and I think only like 2 people answered it.
All right. Well, we're gonna ask this question again because I wasn't here for it. So suck it, nerds. So
I think someone said they expected him to take over Brunswick Farms. So like
the compost king just moved over.
Yeah.
So my question, just to reiterate it for those that either didn't hear it or were away from their computer for whatever reason, if you have other things to do right now. My question for you, chat, is with Ozpin now being gone, being locked away, or having locked himself away somewhere inside Oscar's head, what do you think is going to happen with Oscar? How do you think he's going to handle things?
Okay, so as a way to kind of track answers, I'm going to my creator studio, to go to the live streaming, and I'm going to add a iCard poll.
Okay.
To see if we could get some answers sort of right away.
Neat.
Oh gosh, I forgot. I still have some stuff from last stream, or the iCards from a while ago. Oh boy. Let's read out last week's results on those iCards. Is Salem Osmond? Sorry guys, if you heard like a slight echo of VYTALCast in the background. Okay, no.
Inspector says getting smitten with Ruby. I mean, I can see that.
Yeah.
It'd be like Doc from Red vs. Blue. It'll be fine for a while, then something bad happens and Austin kicks back in.
Yeah. Okay, so
I could see that somewhat, Ray. See, Stoic. I'm a former MMA practitioner, proficient in Northern Shell and Kung Fu and Capoeira practitioner, like maybe level 5. Got under me with the quickness. I can't say I'm super familiar with like the levels and stuff for MMA, or really of most things. I've only done like a year of Chinese kickboxing, so I can't say I'm like an expert by any means, or that I'm super knowledgeable. But like I do understand like at least the basics of stuff.
Are you allowed to block with your arms in that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're so it's essentially American kickboxing, but incorporating throws. We have no ground game, but you incorporate throws to it.
Okay. Yeah, because I was gonna say, for a lot of kicking, and this will highly apply to Taekwondo, if you're going against someone using Taekwondo, if they're doing a roundhouse, you want to go straight towards them, like you want to go inward to kind of like be able to block off the kick and like just kind of rush them, sort of say. If they're doing like a front snap kick sort of thing or a straight kick, you want to go around. So kind of think of it as like, I don't know, if someone's going around, shoot like an arrow. If someone's shooting like an arrow, go around.
Okay.
Does that make sense? It's hard to
You more or less want to get inside their guard.
Yes. Get in their guard or around their guard. It's also just a good way to evade the kick as well. Or at least take the least amount of impact. So,
let's see. After that, Ruby is 2 years older than him. Steven asks that if that's confirmed. It is through the age.
Okay.
Like, just Oscar being 14, Ruby being 16, as Maria brings up there. Hannah asks, "What kind of magic would the meta have?" I see you're a big fan. Yeah, I see you're a big fan of Red versus Blue.
Dude, the meta is.
The meta, I think, would be a lot like Hazel, with his, in terms of like his
like
semblance and
stabbing stuff in and like getting really buff.
Yeah, more likely with his inability to feel pain.
I can see that.
But, yeah.
Oh, also, guys, I did make an iCard for you guys to answer, like, what will Oscar do with Osmond gone? You might have to refresh the stream in order to see it. It might be on 2 weeks ago's stream, which it was asking the question that we definitely have the answer to now: is Salem Osmond's daughter? Because some people wanted to know whether they thought
I thought that would have been a really neat way to go about that, though.
It would have, and although part of me was kind of on the I think they're exes card, and everyone else was like, no, that'd be too cliche, and then I ended up being right.
Yeah, I thought it would have been too cliche, but they've done a lot of cliche stuff in the past that worked.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they've even said like cliche stuff is fine as long as you give it a twist.
Yeah,
and I think they did a pretty good job with twist.
Oh boy, and the delivery was amazing as well.
I agree.
So
I mean, with this, I didn't have that they're lovers. Oh my god, they were roommates. Like, I thought it was well done in the sense that you could understand where they were both coming from. And it wasn't one of those, it's not the jilted lover sort of trope. So
yeah,
I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
Let's see. The meta's fighting style is very much kickboxing and traditional boxing tactics.
And...
Bruh, I'm weak. I was fighting capital low. Okay. All right, that makes a bit more sense, Stoic.
Which comment from Stoic?
Stoic talks about when he was fighting a capoeira practitioner, he wouldn't let him get low.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Let's see.
Okay, so I think John Johns is saying, I think most people didn't want Salem to be the scorned woman, which she's not.
At least not between those two.
Yeah, she's more complicated than just that. On the surface,
well, I meant in terms between her and Osmond, though they do have very opposing ideologies now.
Yeah,
she was definitely scorned by the gods.
Yeah, she definitely was. I just don't know what to think about the gods after like seeing how they're like. Like, I like them as characters, but now putting myself in like Team Ruby's shoes, it's like I don't know what I'd want to do. Like,
it's just like, bro, the gods are a bunch of dicks.
Yeah, it's like, should we summon them just for the chance of, can we find out if it bleeds, and if it bleeds, can we kill it? Type situation. Or even Agent Carolina versus Ruby would be cool. Wait, are you talking about?
So Hannah's talking about like a fight between Meta and Cinder, and then Carolina versus Ruby.
That'd be cool. I mean, if it's gonna be Carolina post season 13, I think Ruby would win. But if it was Freelancer Saga, back when Carolina was in her heyday, I think she'd have a better chance of winning.
I don't know. I honestly, like, I'm not super good at doing, like, these cross-series sort of fights.
Yeah.
Because I always end up looking at things, because Cinder has aura, she has magic, she has semblance.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, she has all those things. She has the Grim Arm. And the meta has armor and shields and weapons. And, like, ridiculous strength. But I can't say that I could really do too much in way of, like, speculating who would really win.
Yeah, because, like...
That's what Death Battle's for. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that's what Death Battle's for. But also, like, in Halo, you have the energy shield, which is essentially what the aura is.
Yeah.
In Ruby, and, you know, they both have guns, so it's just like, okay. I mean, I think if Carolina ever disarmed Ruby, then it came down to hand-to-hand combat, Carolina would easily win the fight.
Like what Adam did to Yang?
Yes. Oh gosh, no, wait. But yes, but oh no, wait.
I really want hand-to-hand combat, just be 2 iterations of Yang, like slapping each other with like their dismembered arms.
Gosh.
I think that'd be great.
That would
but
be
John
awesome.
John says the gods have power but no mercy or compassion. See,
compassion.
I'm gonna have to say otherwise.
Yeah, I would like to argue against that.
These gods have been shown, obviously, to have been around for a while. They were revered. The god of darkness was not sought after for the stuff. Obviously, from what we've been told, but also because the god of light was the compassionate one, the one that people would go to all the time, try and get what they're after, more or less.
Yeah.
So, with the whole god of light, it tends to give people the warm fuzzy about, oh, this is the person I can go to, I can trust, or this god is the god of light. They have to be willing to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the god of light was very clinical, because you have to be. Like, when you are a god over billions of people, or probably millions, really, in just that case, you can't go about just being willing to serve everything. I mean, going back to the Almighty series, so with Bruce Almighty, that does a really good job of making it to where you can't just give everybody what they want.
Yeah.
But being picky and choosy kind of makes it to where you're showing favoritism.
Yeah.
Like, so I can understand them not really being very compassionate from what we've been able to see, but that's one instance of what we were shown.
Yeah, and it could also be like, you know, he wasn't really not being compassionate towards her. He was kind of like, hey, listen, like, for reasons, I cannot do what you're asking, but please know, like, there is a light further on from this. Like, you can learn to grow to accept the death and still find happiness in life. Like, not all is gone, you know.
Right.
And that was kind of like the whole reason why they cursed her to begin with, was like, hey,
I feel like the curse was kind of dumb, but I mean,
it was definitely not the way I would go about doing things. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's just like you were willing to wipe everybody else, but why are you trying to just teach her?
Well, I mean, originally they just cursed her with immortality.
Football with Osmond. Okay, that I will agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
So John is talking about giving her what she wanted would be a mistake.
Yeah.
The lack of mercy was in playing football with Ozma in front of her. Okay, that I'll agree with. But they don't see people as people.
And that was more them bickering between each other rather than thinking of Salem and Ozma.
But I mean, when you're a literal god with powers far above people, when you are a higher being,
there's a bit of a disconnect between you and your subjects.
Yeah, you're not gonna think about it in terms of like, oh, these are people. These are living things that I have to treat right, you know.
Yeah.
But in that sense, like, at that point, even though he came back, like, he was already supposed to be gone. He wasn't supposed to be reborn.
Yeah.
Like, So I'm not saying that they did the right thing at all. Like at all. My
I could
words
just
are twisted,
say
though.
I could say I see the logic between why they did certain things, like the curse of immortality. At first was kind of like, okay, maybe by her outliving other people and like basically being forced to lose people at some point just because of her circumstances, she could kind of learn to accept death and like see it as a normal thing, and therefore be able to be granted her own death, you know? But also it's like, okay, yeah, but just throwing the curse on her and not telling her why and how she's supposed to get out of it completely, like, that's gonna just piss people off and like leave them confused.
Yeah. I would also say I don't actually think it would be mercy in the playing football with Ozma.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would actually be just empathy and freaking compassion. Because I don't really see mercy being much of a thing there.
Yeah.
Because it's not necessarily a lack of mercy in the sense of getting like trying to keep the balance in that sense. I mean, suppose it could be a sense of mercilessness because like just
well, they weren't necessarily trying to punish her. They were just, one was trying to keep to the rules while the other was trying to show compassion and be like the helpful god for once.
Yeah.
And then they were,
I suppose.
And then they just kind of forgot about why they were fighting, and were just kind of fighting over like, no, you can't do that. No, let me. No, you can't. Yes, I can. You know. And then eventually they just kind of came to like, oh wait, no, my bad. I see what you're talking about. Yeah, let's just get rid of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that goes back to them not really. They were like two parents fighting in front of a child. Yeah, I could see that. I'd agree with that sort of analogy.
Yeah.
But they're trying to keep balance, and like we don't. I don't know. That's getting to like
there's an
entirely new can of worms. But yeah, it was messed up what they did. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like I would not say that they were in the right for just constantly revive. Dead, revive, dead, revive, dead. Heroes never die, dead. Like, I will not try and defend that.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole immortality thing, I think, was just kind of ridiculous idea for the gods.
It's definitely a misguided step. Like I saw the logic behind it, but they also didn't do it the way I would have done it, but also like I just wouldn't have cursed her to begin with as well. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to curse her, who bred like
it would have been easier to just snap her out,
Yeah, just like, oh hey,
you could be together by dying.
So right now my brain is like doing mental gymnastics on trying to figure out when she was cursed. Was it it was before
it was
she like got everybody else together?
Yes,
so
which was
like,
after the football with Ozma.
Right. I don't know why my brain was having a hard time with that.
Oh, no, I struggled a bit here and there with that too, but
freaking brain, what are you doing?
Well, also I think if I remember correctly, Caleb and Jacob kind of mentioned like she was able to pit the gods against each other in that, and the curse on her might have not just be, okay, let's try to teach you a lesson, but also like, okay, we're gonna teach you a lesson for like toying with us, so to say. Kind of like, okay, like they were a bit angry at her, but also like, okay, we want to have you actually learn a lesson about life at the same time. And because they did a mix of that, their results that they wanted did not happen.
Yeah, with the mental gymnastics, my brain was lacking in. I feel that's where my stance on the immortality being a bit ridiculous came in. I mean, after she freaking like led the people, I'd have just been like,
I would have just taken it away at that point.
I don't know, because that would have given her what she wanted.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
you gotta be super petty to be like that though. Like
yeah,
it's gotta be like a balance of pettiness, but like not petty. Like goddamn.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I like them, is they're complicated people, their characters. They're not just, straightforward gods that are unhuman. They're very human in that sense.
I mean, kind of ties back to your whole Greek god thing you mentioned earlier.
Yeah. So, it's a big, complicated mess with those two, and now the whole world of RWBY is a big, complicated mess, but we are really enjoying it because of that.
Yeah.
Like... So petty and extra that he destroyed the moon along the way. Hey, somebody put the moon in his way. It's like he's like, I'm gonna yeet out of here. Woof. And he just happened to hit the moon.
Yeah, he's like the one time I yeet out of this place, there's a moon in my way. He's probably like, I'm so...
Who put that moon there?
He's probably like so embarrassed. He's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened. Kind of like what happened to me last week when I should have been watching RWBY, but I was at a Hello Kitty cafe with the girl I like, and I wasn't given the right straw for my boba soda. And the boba got stuck to the bottom of the straw. So I pulled it out, being like, look, I'm going to look so cool taking this boba off the bottom of the straw. And the rest of the drink just pours out all over me. And there's just, boba tea all over the table, my pants, everywhere. And this was their first day being open, too. So, like, right around closing time, I'm like, this went a lot better in my head. That's probably how the Dark God was like, God of darkness, I'll take you, your humanity, and your little moon too. I'll get you, my pretty.
John Johns said they should have just offered her a chance to join him in the afterlife, which we know exists. So I'm a softie when it comes to like punishments. So it takes an effort for me to actually be willing to punish people.
Yeah.
Or discipline, I should say. Discipline is the term that NCOs can do. We cannot punish, we can discipline. So I don't think I would allow that. Like if I was a God, I don't think I would have offered that either. Because she legitimately, she did the same thing. She was a child, like running to one parent and asking for one thing and then going to the other, which I totally did as a kid.
Yeah.
But like, you didn't reward the child for doing that. So, I mean, in that case, you wouldn't reward her either.
Yeah, and I just wonder if, like, their afterlife has requirements, or, like, what can they do in the afterlife? Like, could there possibly be a reason why they don't want someone like Salem in the afterlife quite yet?
Well, we don't... Honestly, I didn't take that as the afterlife as much as it was a stage between.
Okay.
And we don't see anything outside of that. We have the mortal plane, then we have that in between, like King's Cross Station.
Yeah.
And then,
but we don't know what's on the other side.
Yeah, we don't know what's on the other side.
Which is why I was asking those questions. Is like, well, we don't know what's over there. Could there be a reason why they didn't want her there? But
it's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, anything's really possible at this point.
Yeah. So
it's almost like they're creating their own world here.
Oof. I don't know. Are we here by some coincidence, or maybe there really is a God watching over us?
I don't know, man.
Oh my gosh.
It keeps me up at night.
Dragon Devil minus Moon equal meteor shower.
Maria, I approve.
Yeah. Hunter Z says that means our Pyrrha is okay. Really? After so many years of me being teased with Pyrrha. And then I, like, take my opportunity at the panel to, like, be the one to tease about Pyrrha rather than being teased. And the whole audience turned on me. I was like,
fool!
I was like, oh, come on. That's the one thing I've learned with panels this year, is I can accidentally turn the audience against me very quickly.
Oh, that's where some of the fun comes in.
Yeah, no,
that's when you have somebody like me sitting to the side, and I'm just like,
So Salem did nothing wrong.
Gosh dang it, John. Like, yeah, watch the whole audience just gets up from the chairs and walks out.
That's like sitting there and just using the same sort of setup. You're just like, so Joffrey was a good king.
John, I'm about to just turn the stream off.
He's like, I'm done. You're never getting on this thing again. It's like, can't do it. Nope.
Oh man, it's like, watch, the police are gonna bust in and be like, you can't say that.
That's probably what my internet went down, so the NSA would be able to hook in.
Yeah.
Or whatever the British have over here.
Maria saying he's probably in limbo. Oh yeah, the in between is like limbo. Yeah.
Yeah, and John has a point. They did mention it in the conversation. So I mean, we have mention of it at least.
Yeah.
Until I see it,
we know it exists.
I want to see it.
We know it exists. We just don't know exactly.
Palpatine was a good man.
Like.
Changed my mind. Oh, Hunts.
Anakin Skywalker.
My man.
Is that you? Like.
My man.
All right. Well.
Okay.
It's
one last question.
Okay.
So, I know a lot of people are hoping for a Emerald redemption arc of sorts.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, and what do you guys in the chat think? And people who are actually like watching this after the fact, feel free to put your stuff in the comment section.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question for the comment section.
Yeah.
Or you could even tweet it at us and we could screenshot it. You know, that's something I should do is like, hey, I should just screenshot VYTALCast comments and maybe comments in the VYTALCast Discord channel and on Twitter, and I could put them in a slideshow to put up on OBS and we could talk about it in the future episodes. Hey guys, I thought of a new thing to do for VYTALCast.
Bam, innovative.
Do it. As for my thoughts with Emerald and a redemption arc, I originally, back in Volume 3, was like, oh yeah, totally. Post Volume 5, though, I've been a little iffy on it. Like, I'm like, if it happens, it happens. But if it doesn't happen, and because just of how she attacked the camp with, like, such a grin on her face. Like, oh yeah, gonna kill some boys. Yeah, boy. You know, she's gonna
yeet. The attack that didn't seem to do anything.
Yeah.
Just kind of walked right in.
True.
But that's for another time.
You know what? Now that I think about it, that... Oh, wait, no. Yeah, they didn't kill the whole camp. They talked to Raven. Never mind. Yeah. But this episode, this last chapter had me a little conflicted on, like, whether I still want that or not. Because I'm like, oh, she still has some redeeming qualities. But a lot of the, like... her emotions in that last episode were tied to Cinder. And kind of like, senpai, please be okay, kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, sorry,
I can... It's all good.
You're going to have to, Google Translate that.
So, before I give my ideas, I'll go ahead and talk about John and Inspector stuff. So, for John, he says, I think M won't have a full redemption. But I can totally see her helping Team Ruby at some critical point. I would agree. In some case.
Yeah.
So Inspector says, Part of me says, sure, now, but honestly, she's done so much, like fighting Amber, killing Penny. She's had plenty of reasons to think, oh, I'm the bad guy. And then Maria comes in with, I love the that we're getting.
Yeah.
My opinion remains neutral. Emerald has done nothing to prove her change for redemption, but she is at least realizing that she is in some deep trouble.
You know, that might be it. Not so much of a regret, but kind of like being like, oh boy, what we're doing is pretty serious. I don't know. I'm
so.
Yeah, your idea.
So in a way, I feel that Emerald following Cinder is kind of met with it's similar to Nightingale syndrome. So when somebody is saved they tend to kind of imprint onto the person. I say kind of because it's not.
There's
not
a
exactly
whole
that.
iCarly episode on this.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Freddie saves her from being ran over, and she falls in love with him. But,
okay. Yeah. So it's that sort of thing, and like with Cinder giving her a purpose, getting her off the streets and everything, she feels not only indebted, but she really cares for Cinder because she thinks Cinder cares for her.
Mm-hmm.
However, she has shown, at least through her expressions and everything, that seeing all of the terrible things she's done as still possibly atrocious.
Yeah.
I do not think that Emerald should get a redemption arc. I would not want her to have one.
Yeah.
Because I feel that would, while it would make some sense of everything she's doing, I personally would just rather her stay a villain. I have already given up on Mercury getting a redemption arc because he's such a terrible person in and of himself.
I'm surprised you'd even have the question for Mercury, but yeah.
I do not have the question for Mercury. Yeah. I just love stating it. But for Emerald, while I personally would not want there to be, I would not be against there being one, provided they're able to do it well.
Yeah.
It's not just some thrown together, oh hey, I helped you guys this one time.
Can I be good?
I don't know what else to do. Sort of thing. Like, don't get me wrong, Ilya's wasn't terrible. I just feel like it could have been done a bit better.
I was actually about to make the comparison to Ilya because Ilya hasn't done like any of the super terrible stuff as Emerald has done in the show yet.
I mean,
and I think that's why
exactly.
Ilya's is more excusable on how that was done. But if it was done exactly how Ilya's was done, I'd have some issues with that.
Some complaints, but it seems like they were able. So from with my issues from 4 and 5,
Hannah Ray's like, I'm happy we got our redemption arc with Locus.
with volumes 4 and 5, their pacing and their flow and the way that they did a lot of the story aspects of it didn't hit well with me. But with 6, it seems that they've taken a lot of the criticism, both negative and positive, and actually like turned it on its head, which I really like. Not only from a fan's point of view, but from like a content creator point of view.
Yeah. Especially if you're a theorist, or actually, it could be your kryptonite too. It'd be like, oh, you constantly have more theories to come up with, but it's also at the sacrifice of all your other theories just being killed in front of you.
Didn't you say this once before?
I probably said it back in Volume 4. Because Volume 4 did that quite a bit.
Like, I swear that you said this once before. I don't think I was part of the conversation. But
you were in the chat. I remember talking with Aaron about it.
Okay, I think that might have been it.
Yeah, it was back in Volume 4 days.
Ilya was the foil to Blade's character, how she would be if she never left the White Fang. I know that's what they intended, but honestly, it didn't really feel like that to me. And that's nothing really against like their intention. But like I just felt like Ilya's constant, like I can understand, being like, this is for the White Fang, blah blah blah. This is for our people, blah blah blah. But like I feel like it kind of contradicts her stuff in Blake's character short.
Yeah, I kind of took it as, I think that was her trying to justify revenge and try to convince herself it's not just revenge, when really it kind of was. And she eventually kind of saw like, no, this isn't the path I should take, and then just kind of like, helped them save Mistral. I don't know, Ilya, I have to say, annoyed the heck out of me throughout most of Volume 5. Or
do tell.
Up until no, it was just like Sun and Blake, they're doing their speech, and then Ilya comes up just like, no, the White Fang are the right people, and like, she runs off, and I was like, gosh dang it, Ilya, stop.
She runs off because Sun can't do a freaking surprise attack to save his life at that time. It's Sun. Stop talking. And just do the surprise attack.
Just shut up. Yeah, exactly. Like, I feel like Volume 4 was me like, Son, stop stalking. Son, shut up. And then Volume 5 was very much, Son, shut up, please. Like, but she eventually changed it. Like, once she like helped them at the end of Volume 5, I for some reason really started liking her. And then Son I've liked as well.
Bandwagon.
I don't know how it happened. It just suddenly happened. I just went from like, she annoys the heck out of me to, okay, I've forgiven you and I like you. I don't know how it happened. It didn't happen like straight off from watching it. It was definitely between Volume 5 and 6 that my opinion on her started changing. So.
With Ilya, I liked her at the beginning, especially during Ilya's character short. Shout out to Hunts. But I was expecting her to be less reliant on Blake's character.
Yeah.
Like, I'm hoping that when we see Ilya again in the future, that she's more independent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because her character heavily required Blake to make her relevant.
It did. It was like, hey, we used to be friends. I also love you.
So I can understand the need. I feel like it was a bit too much. Hey, Spider.
Okay.
But
hey.
Because when she in the character short, she's like, while I was at Atlas, I lived like a princess. I made myself think that I was one of them, and then her parents died.
Yeah.
In like a really horrible like accident.
And then everyone's just looking at it.
Then everybody snickers and laughs because the disparity between the classes and stuff and between the races. Okay, understandable. Punch them. That's cool. Whatever. Real world, I don't think you should just punch somebody for snickering. I still think they're an asshole.
Yeah.
They shouldn't, do that.
I think it was definitely emotions overrode logic.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not one to initially react to my emotions like that. Yeah. So I mean, if it was your standpoint on it,
like, I would normally agree, but like, if it was my parents, they were laughing and snickering about.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
Like I said, I can understand it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know until something like that had happened.
Yeah.
That's how I tend to have my stance on it. However, later on, she just blames all humanity. Just like there are those that that did it. They're the ones that like sow the hate, and then there are ones that stand by and let the hate happen. And it's just like, what about the ones that are out there trying to make a difference? But whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm just really hoping that she's not as reliant on Blake's character in the future.
Yeah, and someone let's see, was it Stoic the Dragon Eater? He was like let Elia be married the next time we see her, which I think would kind of go.
Doesn't even have to be married. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say like that would kind of go against the wanting to see her be more independent, but like I get the reason why they would want to see her because that way she's not dependent on Blake so much. But I would still like to just see her be her own person.
Yeah, like hell, you could end up having it to where. You could even end up having it to where Ilya is not married, doesn't have to be in a relationship, is just like, hey, she's interested in somebody that's not Blake.
Yeah.
Like, hell, honestly, I would want her to be interested in Weiss.
Blake? Oh, no, Ilya.
Yeah,
dude, that's been a ship that I've been seeing that I'm like, oh boy, like, that is, yeah, that, yeah, I wouldn't mind, but I feel like I've suddenly turned into, like, a White Rose person.
Really?
I didn't ship it at first, but I've seen
I'm still not really on board with it. I can see it's kind of cute. Same with Bumblebee. I'm still not 100% on board.
Yeah, I don't know. Because back in the day, in the OG Ruby days,
Oh, snap.
The OG Ruby days. I was like, no. I don't like Weiss. Like, Weiss needs to go through some much needed character development for me to even like be okay with that. And now she has, and now I'm like, okay, develop Ruby just a little bit, and we're golden.
She needs development.
Yeah.
But I feel she's gonna get it this time.
Yeah, and it's at least a cute ship, which for me, I think I'm at the point with Ruby where I'm just like, yeah, that ship's cute. I'm not really invested in the ships too much anymore. Other than, like, ironically, I don't want chat or viewers to kill me, but ironically, the two ships I am more invested in than the others right now is both Black Sun and Bumblebee. So,
I'm also a fan of Monochrome or Checkmate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm also a fan of that. So,
yeah.
But like like they don't have to be in like a relationship, but I mean, like I like the idea of having something outside of like the normal.
Okay.
Hey.
I'm having friends panic at me right now on group chat. I might have to end VYTALCast, but I want you to finish your thought first.
Okay. So,
like, if I turned off my ringtone, like, you'd be hearing it just going off. It'll sound like I'm getting a phone call. Listen to this.
Yeah, I can hear the vibration.
See, that's the situation we're in right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to make it quick.
Yes.
My only issue with like shipping is when it comes down to people automatically assuming they're going to be one way or the other. Like, hey, just let them do their thing. Like friendship-wise shipping, that's cool. You can do that. It's whatever. But the people that get like completely ridiculous about it, the ones that like the whole Black Sun Bumblebee sort of war that was happening for a good while, that might still be going on.
Yeah.
That sort of thing bothers the hell out of me and makes it to where I just cringe every time I hear the word ship and any character in Ruby.
Yeah, I definitely felt that with Clance in Voltron after a while. Dude, that phone. I responded to them to shut them up. What is...
It's all good, man. Like, we've been going for, like,
they started watching the, like, F your ships, get off stream.
You know what? No. Comment right here on the YouTube thing. I want to see your comments.
Oh, there's Slither wins. I don't know if they'll watch, but I do think you're very close, if not hitting the record for longest VYTALCast. How
much longer do I need? Because I can make this go.
Dude,
I can keep going.
No, I think you might have beaten it already by like 3 minutes.
There we go. Slither wins.
Yeah. What is she there? Oh boy.
She's right there.
Dude. Oh gosh. Okay, let's see. The longest one I could find. Hold on. Mina's probably hitting me right now. She's like, David, god damn it, like, stop. Okay, so so 2 hours and 14 minutes, 2 hours and 26. I think it's 2 hours and 26 minutes that had the record. Yeah, 2 hours and 26 minutes, and you and I are at an hour 27, almost hour 2 hours.
I'm not gonna be able to milk it.
Oh no, like you're over by a minute. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you beaten it.
Cool.
So. Yeah, okay, she's in the chat now, so we are gonna end the stream now. Thank you everyone for sticking around for so long, and
shout out to Slitherwinds for coming in.
Yeah, we need to get to the Korean barbecue before it closes because she's really...
snap! Yeah, you guys go do that. Like it's only like freaking what
4 in the morning.
It was like 3:30 here.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
3:30 a.m.
Yeah. All right, John needs to get some sleep, and I need to get some food. So,
all right,
thank you guys.
Coming out, you guys.
I love you guys, and I'll boop you next time. Come watch my late reaction video, because it's definitely not coming out tomorrow.
I'll kind of just be about,
go follow him on Twitter.
Videos and stuff.
Yeah, follow him on Twitter and stuff. Yeah. All right. Bye-bye.